Here are some of the reasons that I've heard over the years of why these top sales reps that you think are anchored in, you think will never leave. You think that they're making so much money, they'd be crazy to leave. This might rattle some cages. Why your top sales reps are quietly considering leaving. The truth is, retention isn't luck, it's leadership. You see a team that's retained their top leaders for a long time, that's leadership. That's good culture. I've had leaders over the years tell me, I have great culture, but a lot of my leaders keep leaving. That means you don't have great culture. That means you need to work on your culture, because them leaving is an effect of some cause. And the cause is around leadership or culture. When a leader comes to me and they're like, hey, I'm considering leaving my organization, my first reaction is usually to talk them out of it, to talk them out of leaving. I don't want them to leave because the grass looks greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is always greener until it's time to mow. So my first inclination is to try to talk them out of it. And I've had people come to me that are at $250,000 a month, $120,000 a month, $50K a month. They're considering leaving, and their upline has absolutely no idea, and the company has absolutely no idea. Here are some of the reasons that I've heard over the years of why these top sales reps that you think will never leave. Number one, recognition. If they feel like they're the workhorse and they don't get any recognition, doesn't feel good. If someone feels like they're the workhorse and they're never recognized or appreciated, yet they see other teams that do that, I'm going to give a shout out. There's probably a lot of leaders that do this, but there's a guy that 10 years ago, he came through my mastermind, and him and his wife were at 6 figures a year. And he has told multiple people that I helped him get from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month. And that's a guy named John Melton. One thing I see John Melton do all the time, he's not currently a client and I haven't talked to him in a long time, but one thing I see John Melton do very, very well is constantly recognize his people. He's constantly posting on their pages. He's constantly saying, hey, kudos to this person, that person. Hey, appreciate you. Way to go. You hit this, and you crushed it in December. I see him do that all the time. Recognition is absolutely one of the reasons why top sales reps consider leaving. And it's a two-edged kind of sword here. One, when they're not getting it, and two, when they see other teams doing it or other leaders doing it, regardless of what company they're in. Number two, honoring. When you just expect the leader to perform and produce, and you get out of that gratitude, Like my wife is, she's fantastic. She's amazing. There is nothing that she can do for me, even if it's been 1,000 times she's done it, that I don't thank her and appreciate her. Same thing with me, right? When I bring her water, when I do something nice for her, always appreciating, always honoring my efforts, always, like just all the time. Are you recognizing your top sales leaders? Are you honoring them? Number three, taking credit for someone's success. You want to be very careful, and I'm very careful for this. There are hundreds of people who have given me private comments on how I've helped them in their journey, but never publicly. And I'm always aware of that. And it's not that I get bitter or resentful or something like that. I just know this is someone who's going to compliment me privately, but never publicly. And that's okay. I don't take credit for their success. I don't go. Like, the only reason I told you about John Melton saying I helped him go from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month is he said it publicly on several stages. But if someone edifies me privately, but not publicly, well, you're not going to hear me mention. I'm not going to talk about it. So what am I talking about here? I see where a lot of people, a lot of leaders, out of insecurity, they bring someone in that just kills it and crushes it and has nothing to do with the leader, actually. That person would have crushed it if they were in a toilet plunger sales company. They would have crushed it if they worked for Fritos, selling Cheetos, right? They would have crushed it no matter where they went. But the leader, because they just so happened to be the person that brought them in or recruited them, they'll say, look at how great I am. And look, my protege. I remember I got one of the weirdest calls in my life. The first network marketing company I was in, I got exposed to some horrendous leadership, bad leadership. Here's the number one example. They didn't like the way I did stuff. I was making things happen. So I would go to an event. It was in a binary, and I was at the bottom of a bottom of a bottom. And I was producing volume like crazy. I was the number 2 star maker in the company. And at the time they had 600,000 people. So I would go to an event and people would come up to me like, oh, wait, you're Ray Higdon. Oh my God, thank you. Because I was like down in this cubby hole and producing volume for all these people. But the leader did not like the way I operated. Now, Now, the truth is, the leader actually had some good points looking back, but it was just the way that she handled them and the way she handled me. Terrible. Now, here's the funny part about that. She had reached out to me because she saw that I was running a meeting with one of my top reps. She had seen that we were running a meeting and she said, hey, I see that you're running a meeting. Let's bury the hatchet. I'm happy to come speak at it if you want. And everything in me said, no, 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 no. But I'm like, she's extending an olive branch. I'm like, all right, that'll work. We'll have you speak. The next week, there's this public meeting. Both me and my rep go and we attend. There's 150 people in the room. And she goes, some of you have asked for my help, but you're not following my system. So sorry, Ray and his name, but I can't help you next week. So my rep stands up, says, F this, I'm out of here. Quit that day. I stand up. I just shook my head. Like, why? Why would you do this? I just got out of there. Now, years later, 16, 17 years later, I get a call from this leader. I kept the voicemail for a long time. And the voicemail said, hey, Ray, I hear that you're having major success. And it's just so cool to see one of my little birdies leave the nest. And by the way, I'm launching a new company and, I'd love to talk to you about it if you'd like, give me a call back. I'm like, wow, what's the point? I don't think I have to tell too many people not to publicly call out a top leader of yours. Like it's pretty common sense, I think. Because if you think about top sales leaders, a lot of times they're a little rebellious. A lot of times they're a little against the grain. I know I am. I've seen coaches that I wanted to hire, but then I saw how they took credit for all of their clients' success. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I want them going around and I'm one of their merit badges, right? I don't know if I like that. But you want to be careful to not take too much credit for their success. Now, if they publicly edify you, if they publicly are posting about you, then hey, use what they're posting. That would be stupid not to. But taking credit for their success without their permission or without them honoring that. Number 4, you want to stop seeking control more than production. When I was the number one earner in a direct sales company, I had a lot of rebels. I had a lot of people that did not do the business the way I thought we should. And I mean a lot. I had probably 4 very large teams that were just different, man. They just did things so different than what I taught. For example, I had this one team and they were hardcore internet marketers. And what makes a hardcore internet marketer? A hardcore internet marketer is someone who runs by pay-per-click, that runs by return on ad spend, that is a very metric-driven marketer. Most influencers that I would not classify them as a hardcore internet marketer, but most who have ran hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising probably are, if they're metric driven. These guys had their own system. And when you would come into the organization, they would sell you a $50 a month internet marketing system because they had their own little kingdom. They told people not to attend the company events. When a contest was ran, these guys would be at the top. They would have, the 5 people from their team in every sales contest at the very top, almost every time. I'm the guy out there always saying, hey, get to the company events, get to the company events. These guys are like, don't go. They're not going to teach you anything new. I never tried to control them. They thrive. They built a team well over 10,000 people. I don't know the exact numbers, but well over 10,000 people that they brought in just in a few short years. I never tried to wag my finger at them. I never said, hey, you guys, you really should. Blah, blah, blah. I just said, how can I support you? Because I sought production more than control. A lot of leaders seek control more than production. When one of the absolute top reasons why top sales reps consider leaving is if they feel like they're being controlled. Let me tell you one nuance of this. In some companies and some teams, I should say, more teams than companies, if you reach a certain rank, you may all of a sudden have new duties. Hey, now that you're 6A, we're going to need you to run this. Now that you're a diamond, we're going to need you to run this. Now that you're a black diamond, we're going to need you to do this and do this. A lot of times there are things they don't want to do. They didn't sign up for that. They don't want to do it. When you seek control more than production, you very often push away all of those people who are not people pleasers. And I've found that most top sales reps aren't people pleasers. Is this helpful? Is this eye-opening? Now, I know some of you on here may not have a large team yet. This knowledge will help you get to where you are keeping more of your top reps, regardless of the size of your organization. Number 5, if you're never injecting something new, if everything's always the same, just grind, hustle, grind, go talk to more people, show more people, SMP, you got to mix it up. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be encouraging people to show more people, but can you do it in a different way? Can you give it some flair? Can you run a new contest? Can you do the contest in a different way? Can you come up with a different version of the sample or how to sell it or different presentation, like something new? Can you bring in a trainer? Can you have a trainer do a small series? Can you run a 14-day challenge instead of a 90-day blitz? Inject something new into them and their organization. So recognition, honoring, not taking credit for the success, right? Being very cautious with that, not seeking control more than production, and injecting new things. Like what's new? What's a different way for us to do it? What's a different trainer that can speak to them differently, etc. Those are five, what I consider the five top reasons that top reps consider leaving your organization. So I appreciate you so very much. Have an amazing day. God bless you and your family, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.